Okay, we're back on track after a nice Sunday off. At least for me. Kind of hung out with the family, did some cool things, even played guitar while some of the relatives were playing Beatles Monopoly. You gotta check it out. It's too cool. So between that and Beatles Trivial Pursuit, that was my Sunday. So I want to wrap up Eric Clapton week with a couple of things. You have, I'm going to give you a little bit of the background onto it as to how this materialized in just a minute. But yes, we do have a song coming out today that you have probably all guessed what it is. So no big surprise. Tomorrow, probably a surprise. Now, one thing I want to tell you about how this evolved, and that was it really came out of the song voting thing. Once we saw how many Eric Clapton songs showed up, or at least songs tied to Eric Clapton, I thought, you know what, we only have one Clapton song up here. Well, I should get on this because this is pretty cool. So I thought I should try to do maybe 3 or 4 over the next couple of weeks. And I started making a list. And when I whittled it down to like the vital songs, I had it narrowed down to like maybe 20. I thought, okay, I don't think I'm going to get away with 3 or 4 here. So what I tried to do was pick songs that really had different focuses. And so you've probably seen, I mean, some of them are fairly simple strumming campfire songs. Some of them are, you know, the classics, had to do Layla and stuff like that. Some have some nice finger picking, some have some very complicated finger picking. And for the last 2, Can't Find My Way Home and Before You Accuse Me, I really wanted to leave you a little bit, only give you some clues as to, I don't like taking songs like that and showing them to people note for note, because if you go find 15 versions of Can't Find My Way Home, you've got 15 different things. And the same thing with Before You Accuse Me, you've got all kinds of different licks that he just throws in randomly, and that's really the key to becoming a better guitar player, is not the note for note transcriptions most of the time. Now there are times that you want to get part of it note for note just so you understand the philosophy and the techniques. So that's what I was trying to do with especially Can't Find My Way Home and Before You Accuse Me. It's something we don't need to do too specifically. So anyway, we decided then at that point to, what the heck, try to cover as many bases as possible, beef it up to where there will be 10, and that's just the way it worked out. And now I feel like I've covered almost all the Clapton songs that I need to do to give you a good overview of his life and career. There definitely are still some missing links, and we'll fill those in gradually over the next, I don't know, couple of years probably. So that's it for Clapton week. We had a, let's see, there's other kind of exciting stuff going on, and one is, if anybody happens to be in Northern California Wednesday, I actually got to get back to practicing because I'm doing a little presentation at Santa Clara University on the history of acoustic guitar, fingerstyle guitar, and I'll be doing some slack key stuff and things like that, and it's free and open to the public at noon. The link is someplace, Music at Noon at Santa Clara University, which is probably scu.edu. I'll make sure that in the post here we have a link to that. So if anybody would like to come drop in on a class at Santa Clara University 2 days from now, April 7th, from noon till I think 12:50, I will be talking to a class there about guitar playing. Kind of looking forward to that. It's going to be pretty cool. The last thing I think for today is, yeah, yesterday or Saturday's trivia question was pretty easy, but it was one of those things where, much like the genius on the trestle problem, at first glance it doesn't appear there's enough information. And once you just start doing things and seeing what happens, you realize, oh, I don't really need to know, how big the bridge was or how, all that kind of stuff. And it's the same thing with the apples and oranges box. As soon as you just dig into the mixed box and see what happens, and remember the important clue was all the labels are wrong. Had that not been dropped into there, it would have not been solvable. So I am taking a day or 2 off of the trivia stuff and getting back to more of real life here around at Totally Guitars, as if that could really be considered real life. But oh, I do have one more thing to say, and that is the song number 10 is not going to be this. gave you the whole thing. It's really cool, but I actually think that anybody that's been with the program for a while should be able to figure it out on their own. So, you know, we talk a little bit about how I decide what songs to use for lessons and things, and everything that happens in Bell Bottom Blues is stuff that we've covered, and there are other songs that show you all those chord progressions, all the arpeggios, and the relationships among the chords. Now, you may have had to go through a solid 30 or 40 or 50 of my lessons for that to become simple, but even if you've only gone through 10 of them, you should have a clue about it. So let's have people start getting to work on figuring that one out for themselves. You just saw it, and you just heard it.